What happens when you take a portable Bluetooth mobile game controller and chop it in half? You get this, the GAMESIR X4 AILERON. But why would you want to do that when this is perfectly fine the way it is? Well, let's chat about that after we check out the specs. Before you click away, guys, this is the pièce de résistance of the X4. You pull this apart and rotate it this way. You got both left and right side of the controller, and then you fit the device in there. Pretty cool, right? So the GAMESIR X4 AILERON retails for $100. It's Android only. There's no iPhone connectivity. Well, you can technically connect to an iPhone, but it will do absolutely nothing. There's Xbox control buttons, as well as in the case right here, you have switch buttons that you can, well, switch out if you want to. Connectivity between the left and right, as well as the device that you have, is Bluetooth low latency. It's pretty darn fast, actually. In most cases, maximum thickness for the device allowed on this machine or this device is 12.5 millimeters, whether the device is naked or with the case. And maximum height, if you have this on landscape, once you have these pulled up, is between 68 to 95 millimeters tall. And this also turns on either the left or right. You can do it this way, and it activates the device by itself. There are Hall effect sticks and triggers, micro switch ABXY buttons, and also mappable buttons in the rear. And you got your usual triggers on the top right here. Really smooth buttons too. Very clickety. And right down here is the M multifunction button where you can control the lights on the fly and things like that. Really quick when you're gaming. It's very convenient. This is also the connect button right next to that. The weight of this combined is about 189 grams, and battery life is pretty decent considering how much space you're dealing with here. It's very skinny. It's around, I got 17.3 hours from 0 to 0, so it's okay. But in terms of charging, there is no pass-through. So here's the USB-C port right there. No pass-through in the sense that you can't charge your phone with it, but you can charge, the left and right side when they're connected like this. But when they're being used, there's no way to even charge the right side, especially if you're low on juice. You can only charge this side, so it's something to bear in mind there. Looking at both the left and right modules, you notice that it's, for the most part, in terms of layout, it's very similar to a regular mobile controller. But there are a couple of things that do stand out. On the side here, on both of them, you see holes right there. They actually say in the paperwork it's for some kind of hand strap accessory. My guess is if you use this as a Joy-Con, and yes, you can use this separately. I know the only way to turn it on, it seems like, is lift this up and it will power on the device, but you can also turn this on by holding down the Xbox button for the left, as well as the pairing button on the right, and it will individually turn these on. So left is on, right is on now, and you can see by LED, and it's connected to my Pixel 7 Pro right there. And again, let me show you the M button right here. So if you hold that down and run the sticks right here on the left, you can change, like, say, the brightness and turn it off altogether, or change the type of colors for your LEDs, for example. Those kind of things you can do with it. And of course, we have magnets that hold this close when you have this connected, and it powers off automatically as well. These magnets are pretty strong, actually, so if you throw this in a backpack, I have no worries of this coming apart. It takes some effort a little bit, but not too much. Most people can pull it apart to actually use this. So, I would recommend putting this in the case nonetheless, because, when it's, if you're still in the backpack, these will be, at the mercy of whatever it is in your luggage or whatever. So just pull this out simply, or, you can do that, or just put it in a really nice case. Let me show this to you. I've talked about the case a few times, but it is really nice. So you can just pop it in like so, and then you just slip it in, and look at this. Look at that. Nice zipper and everything, hardcover, and soft felt lining on the inside. Super nice stuff right there. And then there's space, of course, for your Switch controllers or whatever it is. Really nice. These things are really well made for the most part, and the materials are very premium quality, especially even for GAMESIR. GAMESIR is known for making good stuff, but this is the top of the line. And so you get really nice components here. Performance out of the controls is pretty on point for the most part, unless you're playing like more frantic button mashing games like Brawlhalla. because it feels like to me that the ABXY buttons have the smallest amount of lag to the left side for those, precision strikes. But I'm guessing only like competitive players, not me of course, will only notice. Like, so slightly more pedestrian titles like this one, Into the Dead 2 and Call of Duty, have no problems whatsoever. Now, the analog sticks, I have to say, are fly, guys, and sound the best for feel for their size. And I would say, though, the compact layout does cause problems. Like on the right side right here with the right stick, it does get in the way of the ABXYs when I'm trying to use them. So what I do here is just take that off and, call it a day. I usually give LEDs a pass, especially if, they're gaudy or cheesy or whatever, but the main ones, these halo rings on the X4 are really tastefully done. They pulse when the device is charging or blink blue when it's pairing. Even when asleep or idle, the cycling colors are also not garish. Of course, the LED lighting is just one of the many ways you can customize the controller to your liking in and out of the box, which is really nice. The app is super customizable. You can go in and just play with it to your heart's desire like you usually can with any GAMESIR device. So guys, there is portable and there is portable. The X4 obviously represents the latter, and it's so compact and toteable even without the case, as you can see. I have a serious question for GAMESIR. What sample set of Android phones did you guys use to design this controller anyway? Because most phones I tried it with never felt secure. They never fell out for those that fit, but they never felt secure. Like Pixel phones from OG all the way up to the 7 Pro that I have. Check this out. This is 7 Pro. Look how wobbly that is. Samsung, same thing. And OnePlus, yeah, the modern ones, don't get me started with the camera hump. They don't fit at all. And now I don't use bulky cases either. Most of mine are Aramid carbon cases like this, really thin, the best, the thinnest in the industry kind of thing. So, maybe that's it. But, here's the thing, guys. I've never come across a mobile controller that had a problem with my devices being too thin. And GAMESIR, I think, knew about this potential problem and even included, check this out, these kind of bumpers that you can stick on to the inside pad of the inner deck of the controller, which screams ghetto and would also be problematic if like I had to switch to a thicker phone and I had to peel this off each time. And so, this is permanent. So, there's that. I think what would be helpful a lot in this situation is if the product page had a phone compatibility tool. But my guess is they didn't do that because that would be a full-time job in and of itself. Imagine some guy sitting there all day like updating phones and cases and dimensions into the database. Some of you may fawn over the clickety sounds that the ABXY buttons make. In private, I think that's fine, like a good mechanical keyboard, But gaming in a quiet space like a library or, close to people is probably a no-go. It's kind of loud, actually. Somewhat related to the first negative is I feel like this whole split controller concept is the answer to a question nobody really asked. Because is it that much more compact than a cheaper controller? Is it that much better than the pricier GAMESIR G8, for example? And additionally, by limiting the type of regular smartphones you can use with this and leaving out crucial support for, say, tablets and, like foldables, you're pretty much turning away a significant chunk of the user base. Am I right or am I right? Many of you already know that GAMESIR makes some of the best controllers in the business, like their mechanicals and switches are usually on point with designs that are fun and mature at the same time. The X4 is all of that except in price. It's like the most expensive GAMESIR ever for what it's worth. And with the unknown range of phones and cases you can use with it, buyers are basically forced to buy and try before committing, which is really a pain in the butt. So that's a wrap, guys. This has been the GAMESIR X4 AILERON review. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm not sure why they call this the aileron because that's like an airplane part and this has nothing to do with it, but it is a cool sounding name anyways. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what I do, guys, you know what to do. Subscribe, thumbs up this video, comment nicely down below too. Be nice to your community. It's really great that you guys sometimes have an open conversation about the products that I review and help each other out as well. So, stick with that. That's a great format. Thank you again for being here, guys. I know you could have been doing something else altogether, but the fact that you're here, thank you so much. Namaste. And remember to do something loving and kind for somebody in this world, because guess what? The world needs it more than ever, and it starts with you. I love you all very much. Peace out and God bless.